Oh my God, I'm so thirsty. How do I not have any water in here? Hey. What is up, guys? Welcome back. We're going to be playing with a full face of Rare Beauty today. At least to the extent that I own the products. I do, however, have the new products, including the new setting powder, the new blushes, which I will, you know, hunt down all three of them and swatch them for you and apply them and everything, and the new bronzer contour kind of soft crayon sticks here. I did get these in PR, and I do have their foundation, their concealer, probably a couple of other things if I think about it hard enough. I do not have an eyeshadow palette from Rare Beauty, so I thought that this might be a good opportunity to redeem those of you who I teased in my Kosas video when I said I was going to do a look with the Utopian Dream palette. And I was like, actually, I think today we're gonna do a look with the Utopian Dream palette. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna cheer me up. Not that I'm like bummed out, but like my face looks like I'm bummed out. Like, what? I just watched a Hindash video and it inspired me to try and do a little bit more skin prep before I jump into the actual makeup here. So I'm gonna move you in. I think I already moved in. Yeah, yep, I think so. And we will get to getting on a nice healthy face of makeup. It's gonna be kind of get ready with me style because I kind of want to keep it casual today. I'm just in a casual mood, but I will have final thoughts for you guys at the end for all the new Rare Beauty products. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, Hindash, what would you do? What would you do to my visage? What does the fox say? Is that, can you, no? Okay, what the hell? Look, it's not gonna be in the thumbnail, so just bear with me, okay? I just needed it out of my face. I don't know, I'm gonna use a little bit of the Smashbox Halo Pumping Dew Hyaluronic Acid Illuminating Moisturizer. And I'm gonna mix that with like one little squirt of Future Dew from Glossier. They look the same, but they're not. Oh, that feels really nice. I have not used this foundation and concealer in a minute. I'm going to try and put it on in a way that maintains a little bit more of like a natural finish on my skin, because in my memory at least, it's a little on the matte side, a little on the dry side, but we'll give it our best shot, won't we? I did dampen a sponge, which is not typical of me, just in case I end up wanting to use it, because the new blushes, wow, that smells wild. This is not that old. I don't know, but it smells kind of weird. Anyway, the new blushes are really, really pretty colors, but they are still that super, super pigmented formula. And I'm determined to make them work, because Amanda makes them work beautifully. My husband knocked on my office door a minute ago and brought me this brush. This is my favorite foundation blending brush. Oh, I should be using a Rare Beauty foundation blending brush, shouldn't I? Oh well, I'm not. I'm using the one from Beauty Pie. My child had carried it off somewhere, and Mike had heard me say, that's my favorite one. Don't take that too far. And I have no idea where he found it. All right, so that's a pretty like chill amount. I still kind of want to keep my freckles visible, but we do have some indiscretions to blend here. That was 130N, and it is a much better match for me than, actually I think I've always had 130N in this, but I got 130N also, like they sent it to me in the concealer, and it is a far better match than I think I got 110 the first time, and it was really, really light. I'm gonna do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. A little goes a long way with this stuff. It's a really, really good concealer. Just a little bit dry for my taste. I also have the Rare Beauty concealer brush. Yeah, all right, Rare Beauty concealer brush. Their brushes are beautiful and affordable and frankly underrated, but they did just send me this one. This is, it doesn't say anything on it, but it was sent with the new blushes. And you guys saw me try to use it recently in a video, and it's just a little on the spiky side. I'm not sure that it's like ineffective, it's just like, I couldn't really separate what was blush and what was just general flush from kind of poking my skin a little bit, you know? I think I'm gonna try and go in with a sponge today, because that's what works for Amanda. This thing is actually like kind of annoyingly small. And this is the big boy. This is the regular foundation brush. I feel like the small one, while also just being tedious, was kind of just leaving a little too much product on my skin, you know? I don't want that much mattification, that much coverage. Especially because this is not a first impression, it rarely is. The Rare Beauty setting powder does actually add coverage. It's pretty, but it is not translucent. And I will touch on the shade ranges before we end the video, just because Rare Beauty is typically known for having really, really informed shade ranges. So that's actually really nice. I like that a lot. Let's see how that, you know, dries down and stuff. But they sent me 2 of these. These are the bronzer sticks. They have like more elaborate names, but just printed on them, they'll just say what they are. It's not like feeling good about yourself bronzer stick. It's just like bronzer stick. So this one, they're both called bronzer sticks, but I have the shade Power Boost and Happy Soul. S-O-L as in sun. And Power Boost is a good bit lighter, and then Happy Soul is that kind of deeper one. And just for reference's sake, let me find the Makeup by Mario one. So it would appear that Power Boost is a lot more similar to my very loved Makeup by Mario in light. And so the other one might be a little bit more of like a contour shade, but I did use it already and it is too warm to be a contour on me. And that's not their fault. It's not described as a contour stick. It's described as a bronzer. So that would be why. They basically just sent me 2 to make sure that I had one that worked for me. And it would appear that the lighter one is the one that's gonna work for me. So let's do that. Important regrowth updates. Wow, wow. If this is your first time to my channel, I did not cut my hair like this. Having a baby cut my hair like this. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, actually there's something that Hindash does that I love so much, and it is just like the way that he kind of has such a light hand and the way he applies everything. And it's like he almost never just draws something directly on the skin like I just did. He usually goes onto a palette and then with his fingers or with a brush or straight from the stick with a brush. But ooh, that's kind of nice. I'm gonna blend the bigger area with my BK105 here. Something I noticed when I was adding links to my last video where I was talking about all of my BK brushes in detail. By the way, if you are ever curious which ones I use for what, like what the numbers are and everything, it's in my second best of the best video. Not that these brushes are second best of the best, it was just like the honorable mention category where I was like, look, this is just all the stuff that didn't really fit into my best of the year. And I just took the opportunity to break down my brush use from BK. And the main thing that I noticed when I was putting those links up was that like, it was important that I kind of clarified them and that I show you them and call out the name of them, because there's no scale reference on the website. This thing looks like it's the same size as this on the website, you know, because there's not anything next to it. So like this thing, the 105 looks really, really like small, and it's a hunky chunky brother. Like it's a big boy. And you know, then there's this one, and like the way that it is online, it's unused. And so the brush looks really, really tapered, and it's not, it's like dome shaped. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. It was honestly like, hopefully more helpful than I even realized. So that's so pretty. I'm gonna add more because I like it so much. I kinda wanna try this. Let's see. Let's see. I really wanna make this brush work because I feel like it's clever. And maybe I was just kind of being too aggressive before, but it is a little pokey. So this is my last video I'm filming ahead, and not even ahead that far. I almost always film like about a half a week ahead. I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that I had one up for you guys because I'm going to Florida. I'm finally gonna go see my family. We had to cancel our trip right before Thanksgiving because our dog got sick. You guys know how that went. And when we tried to reschedule around the holidays, the prices had doubled on all the tickets, and we were like, okay, we will just wait. My mom's a teacher, and so she had to give us her schedule and everything. And so when we finally got everything worked out, my sister's able to come. She's never met her nephew. It's going to be nice. So the videos shouldn't have any disruption, but I will probably be pretty incommunicado. Out of office, as it were. Yep, I don't think anybody needs to run out and buy that brush. It just isn't really like stacking up to my expectations of it. It's kind of like that Wayne Goss brush, the #1 brush, I want to say, that's supposed to be like a foundation brush. And it has that very similar kind of stipply feeling where I just don't feel like it disperses the product in an intuitive way. It kind of takes it off more than it puts it on. And I want a nice blend. I mean, I guess that's just my taste. I did get tested on Sunday in preparation for my trip. It is now Thursday and I still do not have test results back. State to state and area to area, it's so different and it's so difficult. My friend outside of Chicago said that, you know, there are these kind of pop-up places everywhere to get tested, like same day. My mom says in Florida you can get tested a bajillion different places, and here, not only are there no rapid tests, like none, they are completely sold out everywhere, but you can't get a test within a week and you can't get your results back any sooner than like 3 to 5 days. So we are on day 4 since I got my test and I still don't have any results back. Like, come on guys, really? Okay, so I think that bronzer is great. I think it's really, really pretty. I am going to still use a little bit of contour, but before I do that, I want to try these blushes because I want you guys to be able to see. I mean, yeah, there's bronzer on my skin, but not like a ton. And that's how I would wear it anyway, so hopefully this is helpful. I'm still gonna swatch them all though. Now, I was really, really excited when I saw these because one of the complaints that I had about the original release was just that all the colors were very expected. There wasn't a lot of mud, you know? I like a little bit of grunginess in my colors. In order to steal my attention, something does have to have some nuance to it. So these in order are Believe, Encourage, and Hope. Believe, Encourage, Hope. Now, Hope appears to be not just lighter in color, but also just a little bit lighter in pigment. And I think that that's the one that I'm gonna try and make work today because they are so pigmented. I almost feel like this is all intended to be the same shade for different skin tones and different undertones, you know? I think it's going to kind of pull a certain effect out of certain skin tones, the way that like the Makeup by Mario Foreplay Everyday Quads are divided into like 3 sets of nudes. Like you can wear any of them, but they are seemingly intended to create looks that translate from skin tone to skin tone to skin tone based on like the nude 1, nude 2, nude 3, you know? So being the fairest, I think that this is gonna be the one that works for me. Now, like I said, I dampened a sponge because I am determined to make this work. This would be Baby Teeth. So we're gonna use the other side of the sponge. I'm gonna really get it nice and even on there. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, and just try and go slow. If you're inexperienced, if you don't have any experience with this formula, like a lot of the first reviews of the Rare Beauty blushes, like you could definitely watch Raw Beauty Christy. Like she puts it on and she's like, what have I done? Oh my God. Like it's just a very, very atypical liquid cheek formula in that respect where you just aren't expecting it to have as much pigment as it does. Again, it's just like absolutely beautiful if you can get the right amount of pigment on your face, but it tends to kind of run away from you. So that is gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Again, that was the shade Hope. I am a big fan so far, and Amanda is right that a sponge really is the best way to do this. Because if you try and put it on your face and then spread it out with a brush, like if you actually use the doe foot to apply it first, you are, like it's a promise, you're gonna end up with too much on your face. But it actually does dry down, at least to the extent that whatever's underneath it has dried down. And so it's like a really multi-purpose kind of liquid blush that also leaves a really, really healthy finish on your skin, but it's not gonna like stay super, super gross and movable, you know? I've completely lost my patience for that stuff. I feel like we all got so excited about cream makeup for so long, and then I really, like, especially as I kind of wanna let my hair air dry and things like that, I just lose patience for things sticking to my face. So my mission it's similar to State of Kate's mission. We're always talking about hybrid formulas. Hybrid formulas meaning I want the look, but I don't want the feel. I want healthy skin, I want that like dewy appearance, but I just cannot stand like sticky, movable makeup all day. Oh, wow. Wow, am I liking that? I am liking that so much more than I expected to. I just want to thank Amanda one more time. Thank you, Amanda.
Absolutely. I'm really happy that I could help. Speaking of help, I would really appreciate if we could revisit the conversation about the light in here, just some sort of fixture. Let me know when you have time, sometime this week, maybe. We can talk about that, revisit that.
She's over there in my closet. I almost am tempted to try one of the other shades. I know you guys want me to. So I actually, before I knew that I was getting these in PR, I already ordered Believe. And so I think I might just like give this to my sister. She's a little bit deeper complected than I am and she'll probably like it a lot. I would kind of want to give you guys the experience that we would have had if I hadn't gotten this in PR. So I'm going to take Believe. I think this is the deepest, maybe? And I picked this one because I felt like that undertone was just so ideal. Such a cool thing, pun intended, to have in my collection. I just don't really have a lot of cool toned cream or liquid blushes. So we will just kind of tippy tap that. And it probably mixed a little on my hand with Hope that was already there. Ooh, but see, I'm flying too close to the sun, aren't I? And I'm really glad they sent it to me in PR because now I can speak from experience and say, you know, just because I went for a certain shade that didn't really work for me, that doesn't mean that like I can extrapolate that as all of them not working for me. Hope actually worked beautifully. So I'm just kind of taking a little bit of it off with like the empty little butt. Okay, I still like, I'm not mad at that. And I might clean up with like a touch, just a touch of concealer because I feel like I did get a little out of control there. I also think that it was a success using the primer and everything, like all over. It's just everything is going on better. I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, I have the highlighter, that's right. I now have her highlighter. This is not new. This is in the shade Mesmerize and I like it a lot. This was actually the one, I want to say the one product that I thought was like a total home run originally. And I have this lovely little brush here from BK. This is the Travel 107. And like, am I sure that that's what this is for? Not really, but I like that it's really soft and I think that it's going to disperse a liquid product really nicely. Yeah, because highlighter to me has to do with layers. I want it just about as soft as it can be. Alrighty, I'm gonna do a little bit of contour here with my Patrick Ta using my BK 106. Oh boy, y'all, this thing's nasty. I have like little hairs in it from, you know, God knows what, but also I hit pan. That was anticlimactic, wasn't it? I hit pan, guys. I can't remember the last time I hit pan on something that wasn't like a Salt New York pigment. I just feel like contour adds something that you can't really put your finger on sometimes. Even on a face of makeup that is like more or less really dewy and also letting my freckles show through and everything, you don't really think, oh, I should go in and do a technique that's as theatrical as contouring, but just a little bit goes a really long way. Just sharpen my angles a little, you know? Yep. All right, so let's talk about this powder because it is a little bit like not what I expected. So it is 0.35 ounces. I have a little, she sent this. Selena sent me this. She is so cute. I think she's so cute. Okay, it says this setting powder does it all, smooths, blurs, and sets my makeup. I love that it helps my skin look and feel its best all day. It's called Always an Optimist Soft Radiant Setting Powder. It comes in 5 shades. I have the fairest, I wanna say. Yeah, Light is a soft pink for fair to light complexions, and she's $22. Not bad at all. You get 0.35 ounces or 10 grams. And I do like that this is kind of a soft, light pink because to me, that just says a little bit of brightening, you know? A little bit of brightening, kind of like a Becca color corrector or something. So I'm going in with my Extinct brush, don't hate me. And this is the O2 from Wayne Goss. If he ever brings it back, I will do a happy dance on camera for you guys. Just gonna kind of take a little bit of that and selectively touch it where I want the light to hit differently. You know, I kind of want it to absorb light instead of reflect light. That's something that's I always talk about when it comes to a cream face of makeup. Even if you're just working with something that dries down to kind of a powder finish and like you're not necessarily powdering, it can really, really help, not just the long weariness, but the desired effect of wearing a little less makeup and still maintaining a really dewy looking complexion, something very healthy looking, to still selectively powder a couple of places where the light is maybe not doing what you want it to do. I don't want shine right underneath my eyes. I don't want shine right underneath my nose. It's also a place that I like to have a little bit more coverage, because I have a little bit of melasma, a little discoloration. I don't really love the light reflecting off of right there. And then kind of right here, you know, where you tend to get, some people tend to get a little oily. My makeup wants to break up, and then a little on my chin. And then when I spray it with like a makeup setting mist or something, it kind of comes back to being a nice dewy finish anyway, but I just get a little bit more contrast. Playing with texture is the essence to making something look kind of either really natural or even better than natural. And sometimes it's not about adding glitter as texture. It can be as simple as just mattifying one spot. So that is the complexion, and I love it. I love it, and it feels so light and so secure. I really like this powder, and I love that it comes in 5 shades and that it's $22. That's great. That's just great. I really, really appreciate her. Okay, so I think it's time to move into the Huetopian Dream Palette, which is a completely on the other spectrum, other end of the spectrum of, you know, affordability. But I have had so many requests from you guys, because I think either people are on the fence about buying it, and I'm not here to convince you one way or the other. I just kind of want to give you a good idea of what we're working with. But also, a lot of people have it, and they're like, yeah, you know, I've done a few things, but I'm kind of in a rut. Please show me, you know, something new. So here we go. In the interest of doing something that I haven't done before, I'm going to completely avoid this shade right here. It is the prettiest oil slick kind of color that kind of goes pink, brown, green. But I use it every time. It's such a crutch for me, so I'm not gonna do that. I think we will, got that gold too. I focus on that gold a lot. One that I don't use very often is actually that pink. I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to start with that pink, and then I'm going to use my instincts and work out from there, so. I think that this is the color that scares me the most in the whole palette because it's so committed. Even the glitters, I don't know, they're just chaotic, which I like. They aren't necessarily like part of the composition. They're just like this really wild topper. They're incredible, but you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of get away with putting that on top of anything. So I think I might go with the shimmery pink on the inner half here, and then go with the very solid pink, the matte, on the outer half. I have to admit, that's extremely satisfying. That's like Barbie, Dream, Home, Malibu, Corvette. That's all I got. But it's giving me like glitzy bubblegum, and I'm really into that. I'm also gonna use my finger in the matte just because I really want to get good placement here, and my eyes are very deep set. If I try and get a brush in there, it's gonna get everywhere. Especially trying to just lay a matte down. I'm gonna end up with like Fallout City, you know? No one wants that. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this party town. Fallout Boy? Anybody? I love working myself into a corner and then having to like plan my escape. The next thing is to just kind of blend. Just take a brush and blend, you know? Get on your bikes and ride. I actually talked myself out of filming a video today because I was like, Khaki, if you want the universe to support you taking care of yourself, you have to actually take care of yourself. And so I took a little nap for like 20 minutes, and then I felt rejuvenated. I was ready. So turns out I can do both. Okay, that's neat. Aw, actually, like, I'm really digging the way that that glitter disperses. You know, I feel like I don't necessarily have to go in with like 10 other colors to get that to do something desirable. I can just kind of let it be soft around the edges. Still gonna put some like underneath my eyes and mascara and stuff, but what if I take my little brush from BK here, the 207, and if you're like, what is she, like a BK shell? BK is very new to me. I'm just very impressed with the brushes. Lisa J Makeup, you know, is the like inventor of BK. You know, she invented brushes. You know, like they just sent out a PR feeler for me like a while back and they were like, can we send you a bunch of stuff? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just very impressed by them. I like them a lot and the sizes of the brushes make a lot of sense to me. So that is all. Taking this brush, it's great for going underneath the eyes and it's also great for getting diffused detail right here. I know, what is diffused detail, right? But it's like got enough fluff that you can still blur a line. It's not like really tedious like a pencil brush, but I can get into this really stubborn spot that makeup doesn't love to stick to and get a shape. Like I can have a lot of control over the shape that I create. Wow, guys, I mean, that's just kind of like really easy. That's just 2 shades. I'm gonna go in with my Beauty Pie highlighter just because it's gonna be light enough to actually get a proper inner corner highlight. And I just love the smoothing effect of it. Plus, I don't really know about every single liquid highlighter, as far as whether or not it's gonna irritate my eyes. This one does not irritate my eyes. And I can still go back over all that with a little bit more of the glittery pink. I'm gonna grab the glittery pink on this little BB brush again and finish my under eye too. This is giving me the best MySpace vibes right now. Like, give me a raccoon tail, give me angles, blow out the contrast so hard that you can't see my nose. Who needs a nose? Noses are important, kids. Stay in school. Well, I officially love that. I'm gonna throw on eyeliner and mascara and brows and stuff, and then we'll get to talking about this new release from Rare Beauty. Walking in the club like you think you're nice. Walking all around like you cold as ice. I don't know what's gotten into me, guys. Jeffree Star's eyebrows from 2005 called and I let it go to voicemail. The only thing that is missing here, I feel like my cheeks ate the blush. Maybe they didn't. Maybe I just completely overwhelmed it with what it is that I have on my eyes, but I'm gonna put on a little bit more hope because I still think that there is hope for this look. And also I added just a touch of matte brown just in the crease to accentuate the shape right there. I did that with like a little brush that is now pink. I'm just sticking that right there. On the apples and bananas. Yeah. And that shade, Hope, seems to work quite nicely. Pigmentation level wise, you know? It doesn't get carried away on me. I also drew a couple of my freckles back on. Another one where it's just like Hindash is inside my head, but there are worse people to have inhabiting your head. And I'll just throw a little something on the lips here. Walking all around like you cold as ice. Literally most of that song cannot be on the internet. It's a little unfair to put the Rare Beauty stuff up against something that's like this loud on my eyes because it's gonna make everything just look a lot more subtle, but it's probably a good thing. Okay, well, it's not the best look in the world, but let's go ahead and talk about this new release. Okay, so the Soft Pinch blushes are $20 a piece. The Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzer Sticks are $23 a piece. And like I said, the powder is $22. So the Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzer Stick comes in 5 shades. This is Innovative Liquid Like Cream Bronzer. Let's just complete the vibe. Stick melts into skin for a believable sun-kissed warmth that does not fade. Weightless, smooth glide texture makes it easy to softly sculpt cheeks and eyes and all over the face. Ultra blendable and buildable, this formula goes on smooth and seamless with a natural finish. Something that I guess I was just really happy with was sort of the typical Rare Beauty silicone feeling that you get with a lot of her cheek products. It isn't completely overdone here. It did end up kind of going to this beautiful powder finish on the skin, you know? And to me, that just says, like, we're learning. It's not quite like the So Soft blushes from M Cosmetics. Those do want to stay a little bit creamier. This does go to like a really, really pretty powder texture. Weightless, glides on smoothly, product wears evenly, does not fade, and you know, in my experience, it has had a nice long wearingness to it, and I really, really love how light everything feels on my skin. Oh yeah, and they also sent me a brush to use with the powder, and I've used this, it's great. I just wanted to apply it with a smaller brush than that today. So yeah, the Always an Optimist Soft Radiant Setting Powder is $22, comes in 5 shades, says super finely milled and silky to the touch. This talc-free, loose mineral powder goes on light and airy to provide sheer seamless coverage with a subtle radiance and a natural finish. Extends the wear of your makeup while blurring the look of pores and smoothing skin's texture, no caking, no flashback. Keeps excess oil in check so your skin not only looks its best, it feels comfortable all day long too. Take it with you. Our custom designed sifter locks for mess-free storage on the go. I did not lock it, I meant to lock it. So yeah, that's what this thing does. It's actually very easy to use, even though mine's messy. Who would have expected that? And then just a little recap again. The blush is not a new formula at all, but it is just 3 new shades that I feel like are much more nuanced. Their shade range is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shades in the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. And Hope is supposed to be dewy, Encourage is dewy, and Believe. These are all 3 in their dewy formula. I wasn't really able to see a huge difference between the 2. I did buy one of each in the first release, but dewy is good. Airy, lightweight liquid formula blends and builds effortlessly for a soft flush of color infused with long-lasting color pigments for all-day wear. A little goes a long way. Mistake-proof, it layers beautifully over liquid or powder formulas without disturbing makeup. Available in matte and dewy finishes. So I, as promised, want to leave you guys with my final thoughts. I'm gonna move y'all out. First of all, talking about these blushes, I genuinely appreciate when something is not meant for me. And that's not all of them. I'm saying Hope was the one that was the right color and the right saturation for me. And I could see as I was swatching them and using them how, and I should get more used to this is where the industry should be going, that as the depth of a shade increases, so too does the richness of the pigment. That should be the case. The industry has been catering to me for a very, very long time, where I just had my pick of the gamut. Whatever blush I wanted to wear was basically made for me in terms of pigmentation level. I find a lot of comfort in the fact that, like, not all 3 of these shades worked for me. And to me, that means, like, you know, these 3 shades are basically, to me, meant to give a certain skin tone a similar effect across skin tones. That's why they all look so similar, so nuanced. And I think that something that's definitely worth articulating in this review, as I'm reviewing for everyone, is that Hope is the most sheer, Encourage is kind of in the middle, right? And then Believe, being the deepest, is also the richest in pigmentation. Do you see what I mean? And they're all in the dewy formula. And I just really, really appreciate that about them. That is intelligent, that is informed. I like it. That doesn't mean that everybody can't use any of the shades that they want to. I just like that there's a little bit more intelligence built into that. Now, I like all of them, I really do. Like, I would recommend all of the products that I tried today, but I'm kind of moving in reverse order from, like, very good to my favorite. In the middle is these bronzers. I ended up being the shade, what was it? Power Boost. And I've got Power Boost and Happy Soul. Happy Soul did just end up being a little bit too deep for me. And again, I take heart in that. I take heart in being the fairest shade in a line of five shades of bronzer. That should be the case if they cater to me at all, you know? I should be the lightest shade. If I'm the 3rd shade, that's a problem kind of thing. I felt like it was a very, very lightweight product that was very easy for me to work with on my skin. That is the claim on it. It's, what, $23? And I will definitely continue reaching for this. It's super pretty. It's really easy to use. I really feel like it's a very dialed in formula for the bronzer. And then my favorite out of all of them, I can't remember the last time I truly wanted to rave about a finishing powder, a setting powder, but this is like Goldilocks for me. It is just right. I love that it is just mattifying enough, adds just enough coverage, and it's a color. A lot of the time for fair-skinned people, they go, okay, well, here's the shade range. The fair-skinned people want a translucent powder. Not necessarily. We want brightening, you know? And I love that it is kind of that pink shade that is a Becca under eye corrector for me or something. So it's like when I put this on, it does more than, it's going to cause me to reach for it before I will reach for another setting powder, if that setting powder is just a setting powder, because this is a setting powder that also brightens. And like, big fan. Big fan of that, and she says that it won't flash back. And it's only $22. Prestige beauty for the people, okay? Like, that is a really good deal. I really appreciate that, and it comes in 5 shades. It's just lovely. So yeah, again, just overall, my journey with Rare Beauty, I super appreciate them rolling with me as I've kind of taken a while to adapt to their formulas and continuing to like send me new things to try, because I will, no matter whether I do or don't like certain items in Rare Beauty's line as they come out, or I like don't understand them or whatever, or love them, who knows, I'm always going to give them another look, because they put inclusivity so front and center, not just in their shade ranges, but in their formulations. And from a pricing standpoint, I mean, they're not drugstore, but you're getting very, very beautiful products, an abundance of those products, and at a price that you are only really used to seeing as like Sephora collection in a lot of cases. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the brand. I really think that she's doing a great job, and I think that this is my favorite kind of set, you know, capsule release so far. And I really can't say enough about the freaking finishing powder, guys. It's like hilarious how much I really am like excited about a finishing powder. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with MySpace Khaki today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.